Hello and welcome back to Tony Northeastern and to part 10 of building this station. So if it's part 10, that's come up to 10 weeks, so this has been 10 weeks since this wall here went up. So I'm thinking to myself, 10 weeks, it's not a lot to show for it, is it? Anyway, getting on from that, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who has been commenting over the past 10 weeks and further. I could not continue without your guys' witty comments and advice, helps, tips, and just basically saying hi. And I do appreciate all the comments. And Steve Harper asked, how many hours have I spent on this station? Well, so far it's averaging about 20 hours a week. So over the past 9 weeks, that's 180 hours just on this little section alone. And if you were to double it, I might have this thing finished. So that's possibly another 10 videos, if you're willing to keep up with the pace. Another comment I had was from Al of Dragon Junction. He seems to think this thing's getting bigger. Well, it's not getting bigger, it's developing, I think, because it's not going to get any bigger. This is about the size it's got to get. But it will develop because I've still got platform 2 to do and the buildings on that side, which is a lot less intricate than these buildings on this side. And sometimes I get carried away with what I can get away with detail wise, and that's part of the fun, I think. Yeah, and there's lots of YouTube channels that I tend to follow, like Anfield Road, Layout in the Loft. I've followed him for the past few weeks. He's a new YouTube channel, and there's many others. There's Elinear 1948, is it? I think. And there's many others. I could go on, the list could be endless. That could be a separate video of my own, that one. Yes, so this week I'd like to get these 3 buildings finished, because once they're finished I might be able to start gluing all 3 sections of the station together. That would be the goal for this week, I think. So yeah, let's crack on. Right, we're at the bench, and the room we're going to tackle is the ticket office. And as in the last video, we're starting with a apex because it's missing. And we have one already cut. So as I was saying before, we're just going to glue that in there, and the other 2 pieces from the apex will go in there, which sets up the roof going across like we did in the last video. So that then will set it up nicely, because as you know, it's a double stepped roof. So I shall glue them in place, and I've also made up some tabs to glue in here. Now the good thing about this room, there's no chimney. The chimney is in this room, but what I have to remember is there will be a fireplace going in the ticket office. So as you can see, I have glued the apex in now, and there's a hole there for the cables and there. But if you look along the building edge, this edge here, you can actually see the bend in the whole station, how it fits onto the platform. It's straight from here to here, and then from here onwards it just bends, as you can see. Just thought I'd show you that. Right, I have cut the floor and there's not a square edge on this floor. As you can see, it's all shaped to suit the building. This edge here runs up against the edge of the platform, and these three edges are what's on the building. And look at that, it is not square by any means. So I've got a challenge with this room, trying to keep the building shape, because when this floor is not in the building it wants to pull back away from the platform. So the thing is, I want to put all the detailing on this floor before I glue it in. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to paint the room out, and on this wall on this side here, if I can turn it round, I'm going to build a fireplace and stick the fireplace on. So I think I'll do that first. I have marked a 2mm line all the way around the room where the floor is going to be pushed up from underneath. So I'm going to concentrate on making the fireplace for here. Now there's 4 fireplaces got to be made because the chimneys are slightly wider on these, so they're going to be slightly different to the cast iron ones. Right, so what we're doing at the moment, we're looking in the office, and that door there leads out onto the platform, and this is the platform height. So what I'm trying to do is to secure the base to the walls on 3 sides, and also secure the base onto this wall here by bringing it up to meet this line here, which would be the border line for the paint. So from there to there and then come back again, I'll be able to secure, hopefully, all 3 sides and this side to that wall. Right, so before I paint the room out, I thought I'd make a start on the floor. So I've scrubbed the floor like I've done many a times before, and I've made some little steps to bring it down from the platform into this room. And in the meantime I'm making up a banister to go on the side of the steps, like so, just by cutting out a piece of scrap card. I've got lots of this scrap card lying around, and yeah, making a banister to fit onto the side like so. Right, I can now start putting this little sub-assembly together. So I'm going to glue the steps to the side wall. Just making sure it's flush to the back and flush to the bottom. That's it. Right, now I can glue this to the floor. Make sure I follow the curve right to the edge. Get somewhere in the middle. So hopefully that should be square. And then the banister, we'll just glue that to the side there. It's about to start painting the floor. I've painted the banister and the lower part of the wall there in a grey, and I mixed up a little bit of brown and yellow for the floorboards. I'm just going to give them a light wash. I'm not going to go too mad. So I'm just painting around the hearth for the fireplace there. Paint that like a greyish colour and then dirty it up. Yeah, so this would be a one big room. There would have been a few desks, and I think this would have not only been the ticket office but probably the main offices for the whole station as well. Right, so that's the floor done with the banister painted as well. Steps are painted, so this is ready for adding detail, but before I do, I might just give this floor a quick varnish just to polish it up. Also, I have added a counter into the ticket office. I don't know if you can see that, but there it is. There's the counter and there's the 3 serving hatches. If I can just get you in the shot, just about there. Right, so here we go with the fireplaces. As you can see, we've got 4 bits of card at 1mm thick, 4 bits of card at 0.5mm thick, and 4 little strips. So the first thing we're going to do is glue all the little strips to the 1mm card. That will then form a shelf, if you like, or a ridge for a shelf to sit on. That's them done. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next thing to do is to cut out for the fireplace, which we'll just get a pencil and mark out roughly that. Right, so now that we've cut out all the actual fireplaces, we can now glue the backs on. This will give it a little bit of depth. So we'll glue all these on. Like so. So that's the fireplaces almost done. As you can see, I've added the red and orange in there for the flames. So the only thing left to do now is to paint the whole surround. I'm going to paint them white, so it'll be like a marble effect. Right, we've all seen these before. Every time you get a brand new appliance, you get one of these, but most people throw them away, but I like to keep them because you can make all sorts of things with these. You can make relay cabinets for your railway, or filing cabinets, or anything like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some filing cabinets with these. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm cutting the tops off so we can put a nice flat edge, because you don't want the round ends. So that's what I'm doing now. They're a little bit tough to cut, but once you get through, they come off quite well. Right, so I'm only using the shorter ones. The taller ones I'll use for something else. So there's our 6 filing cabinets, and the tops that I've chopped off, I'm going to use as basins or sinks for when I come to do the lavatories, the gents and the ladies. So I'll keep them. While we're on the subject of those 3-pin plug protectors, this is one of them, and I've turned it into a relay cabinet just by chopping the top off, sticking it to a bit of plastic card, painting it concrete, and just putting little details on to represent doors. So yeah, that's what you can use them for, relay cabinets as well as filing cabinets. Right, I have capped off these 3-pin insulators, so they are ready for painting. So that's 6 filing cabinets. Because we have the ticket office, we have the station master's office, we have the parcel office, and we have the luggage room. That'll probably have one as well, so I've made 6 of them. So the next thing I want to do is make some desks. So I'm just going to cut some card up, 7mm strips, and glue them together, wrap them with some paper, and then cut them up to 11mm high, and make some desks. So basically I've cut my 3 strips of 7mm card, stuck them together, and now I'm just finishing them off by wrapping them up in paper, and this will give us the drawers for the desks, and hopefully when they're dried out they won't wrinkle up. Don't think I've made them this way before. So basically I'm making them the same way as I do my chimneys really, but instead of brick card I'm using paper. So we shall let them dry, and while they're drying I'll concentrate on making some desktops. We have 6 desktops there, 2 doubles and 4 singles. So let's hope this cuts okay, because it should do. Nice sharp blade. So what I'm doing now is cutting out the drawers, and then we'll just stick those tops on. Right, so we have all our kit together, 2 double desks and 4 single desks. So we start putting them together. So this the single drawer desks will just have a side leg. So just like that, like so. Right, here we are, the last one. It's the double drawer desk. So all this is made out of card, apart from the paper I used to wrap around the card for the drawers, but that was just to hide any lines on the card like you would see. Right, so once that's painted and some drawers highlighted, yeah, that would look good. Desks, and now we need some chairs. So I've just got this little figure here, and I'm just measuring up what width I need for a chair. So it's roughly about 6mm by, say, halfway up again, say by 8mm by 6mm again. So let's try and work this out. So something like that. So that there to there to there to there. So that's 6mm. So 8 plus 6, that's 14mm from the top to bottom, and the width of the chair for the depth of the chair, I mean. The depth of the chair has got to be about 6 again. 6 again. So 6, 6, 6, and 6, and 14. Right, I've had a little bit of a play and I've made my first chair. And we'll just try a little figure on there just to make sure. Yep, sits on there okay. Right, so first of all you cut yourself a strip of card 6mm wide, and you mark to your first bend, which is 14mm. I'll just check I got that right. Yep. And then we bend it back on itself. Like so, just keeping it parallel. Now that you've bent it, you measure the back edge, which will be 5mm. And then bend it back again. Now at this point, if you want to, you can glue it, and then that will keep it in place. So we'll let that glue go off. And then we'll measure 5mm again. So that'll be the next bend, and then you want 5.5mm for the front legs of the chair. And then we cut that off. And by the time you cut that off, the glue should be well off by then. And then you just got to fold it again. At the 5mm line. Make sure you fold it properly at 90 degrees. There you have it, a little tiny chair. Chairs, and all the furniture is ready to go into the room. Now, two of the chairs I have put little armrests on. One will go into the station master's office, and one of them will come into this room here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to lay out the room just by putting the furniture in place. And the idea is if I can stick the chairs to where they're going to go, it'll be a lot easier for me to paint them. Right, so I've super glued that chair, so I'm going to super glue this chair now. So we'll have that one just slightly away from the desk. Now I can remove that one. That one I can remove. And I'll just do this one. Okay. Right. So now with the chairs in place, give it a little while for the glue to go off, I can then paint them. As you can see, it's a lot easier to paint them, and I ain't going to get my fingers covered in paint doing these like that. The other ones, the ones that I haven't put into a room yet, I'm going to just have to hold them with a pair of tweezers. But this is working out brilliant doing it like this. So now we have a booking office complete with tables, chairs and filing cabinets and a rubbish bin. We can now fit it into the building. Right, that's the ticket office finished, and as you can see, you can make out the fireplace there to the left. You can quite clearly see the stairs and the filing cabinets and the desks, and there is a couple of figures in there. There's a clock on the wall, and there's a rack of tickets beside the opening there. Old matey there, he's waiting for his first customer to come through. There is another figure here. He's just at his desk. He's just checking over the paperwork. Right, so we've come to the other side, hopefully to try and catch a bit more. But you can see that figure quite easily. And you can see that one at the desk. Just about. Let's have a look through the windows. Right, so now that that's done, we can move on to the next room, which is just next door. With the ladies' restroom, I have split it into two rooms. This will be the waiting room for the ladies, and this will be the ladies. As you can see, we've got the stairs coming down, and I'm just in the process of cutting a wall for this little piece here. As you can see, it's got a nice white tiled floor. So I've done that. All I've done is scored it with a pen and then just painted it using a white paint and then varnished it. Right, and this is the wall that's going to divide the two rooms up. As you can see, I've cut out for a door. Now the door I'm using is a pair of Metcalf doors, and basically I painted them yesterday evening, and I've only just glued them together, but I have stuck a piece of glass in between the two doors, so that will then be glued into there like so. Right, I have now glued the wall in with the door, and so that's that done. So the next thing to do is to make up a banister for the stairs coming down into the rooms, and I've cut a little piece of card which I'll glue in there like I did with the ticket office that's next door. The banister has now been added. I'm not sure what colour to do the walls in the rest area, but I have made a start into the ladies, and as you can see we have some cubicles I've made 2 sets of these. One set's gone into the gents, I shall show you that later. All I'm going to do here now is just paint the walls, and in this little area here I'll put some little sinks, and I think that's about it. Because the windows are going to be frosted up, you're not going to see much, so I can't really see the point of adding more and more detail into this room here. But however, on this room I'm going to make up some benches and some little coffee tables and things like that. Yeah, so the next thing I'll do, I'm going to make some sinks for here. Do you remember early on in the video I cut the tops off of the 3-pin plug insulators? Well, I'm just going to glue them to a piece of card to represent some sinks, and maybe put some silver foil on the wall, and that'll be it regarding the ladies' room. Right, so here we are. We've painted both rooms now. This room is going to need more work doing to it, hence the banister's got to be painted, and I've got to make some benches and some coffee tables or some sort of tables for this room. But this room, the ladies, is finished complete with sinks. So that is finished now. I might have to put some sort of posters on the walls or something, but that work-wise is finished. So the next thing we're going to go on to now is the staining of the glass. So I'm just going to quickly show you that. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but I have carried out an experiment using some super glue. So what I want to do is I want to frost up all these lower windows in the ladies, and I did that one about a day or so ago, and as you can see, super glue has frosted it. So I'm just going to do these now. So I'm just going to apply super glue to the center of the bottom of each of those 2 windows, and then just get a toothpick and spread the glue around so it goes to all 4 corners of that window. And then we'll leave it for a day or so, and it should frost up. Like it has with that one. With the ticket office now complete, we've kind of moved on a little bit this week. Most of the time was spent making up those little desks and chairs and the filing cabinets. So yeah, I'm glad the ticket office is done, because that was going to be one of the awkward rooms to do. The room next door, that's still waiting for a chimney breast, some more furniture which I haven't made yet. There's some benches to go in there. So yep, however, the ladies next door, that's finished now, complete with sinks and mirrors on the back wall. So yeah, I think that's enough detail for that room. And as you can see, the frosted glass is still not quite there yet. The super glue does take its time, but yeah, you can't see through that window. So that's good, it's working. Now then, regarding the room at the end, in the last video I mentioned I wasn't sure what to do with this room. Now a fellow YouTuber, 80 Pullin, came up with 2 really good suggestions. Either a staff room or a lost property room, and I think I'm going to go with the staff room. Yep, so I've got to make some more benches and tables and things to go in there. But yeah, thank you for that, Adi. If you haven't heard of Adi Pullen, go and have a look at his channel, sorry, because he does lots of reviews on various locos. He's more of a historian rather than, but he does have a layout, and he's just recently done a review of those new Hornby vehicles. So yeah, give him a check out. That's Adi Pullen. And another room we have finished this week is this little office, which is attached to the luggage room. So that's now finished. And if you look closely through the windows there's somebody warming his hands up near the fireplace there, look. So yeah, so basically we finished 3 rooms this week. And I think that's all we've got time for this week. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.